Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built and Happy New Year. And this week, hopefully, I can get rid of the last of the rust in the floor and finish up this roll cage. Okay, so continuing on from where we left off a couple of weeks ago, I still have a couple of holes. There's a hole here that I've got to fix up, and there's another few holes in here. Same on the other side. So a few little touch-ups around the place, just little patches, and then the floor will be free of rust. So I can then move forward and actually get into the cage. So I've repaired enough, at least enough to put the roll cage in for now. There's still more work to do down in this seat rail area, but I'm not going to get overly concerned about it now because I'm going to have to come back and do that later. Let's concentrate on the roll cage area and move on to the other side. Okay, I've got my floors all repaired and I've put my hoop back in just to get a rough idea of placement again. And now I've got to work out the mounting feet that I'm going to go through. And I've gone through the rule book. This is Schedule J, which is the CAMS safety regulations for our Australian Motor Racing Authority. And it has a bunch of diagrams here of exactly how the mounting feet need to be. It also tells me that the base plates need to be at least 3mm thick steel and a minimum of 120 centimetre squared area, which is welded to the body shell. So I'm going to have to build boxes up that the feet can actually mount onto so that it is nice and stable and yeah, it's going to comply with all the rules and regulations. So next thing is to start sort of measuring up some boxes. Okay, so I made up my CAD template for my mounting feet, being cardboard-aided design. I think these should be exactly what the doctor ordered, so I'll get on and I'll start cutting these out. Okay, so I cut out and I bent up my mounting feet, and it's quite a reasonable fit to start with. Now I'm just going to keep doing some grinding, some trimming, just to trim it all out and get it that perfect fit, and go from there. I've already been through this once this morning, but I'm pretty sure I forgot to turn the microphone on, so let's go through it again. What I've done here is I got my mounting plates ready to weld into the car, the feet, and then I went ahead and I cut out a couple of extra plates to sit on top. So this one, for example, sits on the right-hand side of the car. This is the part I'll weld into the car, and then this is going to be the foot of the actual cage itself, which will bolt on top. And I put them in my drill press, marked out the holes and drilled in 3 holes, and as you can see here, I've put the bolts through, so I've got them all lined up, so that's exactly how that foot is going to sit. I'll get it all done now, and I've bolted it up, and I'm going to go through and weld in these nuts to make some captive nuts. Okay, so now I have my feet all mounted in, ready to go. I need to cut the base of my main hoop to fit the angle of what I've got here. And the method I've come up with to try and copy the angle is I've got a piece of this, this angle iron here. It's sitting roughly at the right angle to what I want my main roll bar to sit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of cardboard and set the cardboard level with the base plate, and then use a magnet holding it in place. So now I actually have here, I have my angle that I want to try and cut the bottom of my hoop at. So I'm just sort of going to cut a bit off so that it can sort of get close into place, and then just keep trimming slowly so that I can get it right without messing up a whole bunch of work. So now what I do is I will draw my line on my sacrificial piece of angle iron. Then using my builder square, I'll work out what the angle actually is. And in this case, it is 25 degrees. So I transfer that 25 degrees over onto my cutting saw. All right, now I've got the hoop sitting roughly where I want it, and it's still a bit tied up on the roof. I need to bring it down a bit, but now is the time that I've got it sitting roughly in place that I can go through and start sort of working out exactly, just trimming it so it fits just nicely and get the angles perfect. In fact, that side over there is pretty much bang on. This one is a little bit overcut. It's a little bit too far, so I'll just run the texture around the base, nice and even, and see if I can cut it off to that mark. And then we can trim it down a bit. Oh, I think it needs about, probably about 20 mil it needs to come down, just to give me room for headliner and everything else. So we'll square it up and take maybe 15 mil off. All right, so I've got a pretty good seal around here, and just FYI, I'm going to come back later and box these sections in, so I'll be making plates up for the side. I'm pretty happy with the base plates now on both sides. They're sitting quite nice and flat and level. And I've got a nice even gap all the way over the top of the cage. So the next part is to put in my diagonal cross brace. Okay, so I'm happy with the shape of my hoop. The next thing I need to do is I need to put in my diagonal cross brace. And the rules state that the diagonal cross brace has to be within 100 mil of the foot on one side, within 100 mil of the back stay above the driver's head. So in this case, my car's a right-hand drive car, so it's on the right-hand side of the cage. The back stays need to be between the center of the corner and the top of the cage for the back stays. So I'm going to go as close to the center of the corner as possible, because otherwise the stays are going to be sort of out at a weird splayed angle. So I'm going up sort of roughly center of the corner for the back stays. So I'm going just above that for the cross brace. And so now I need to go through and start marking out rough length, cut it off, and then I can start trimming it to get it just right. Okay, so I've gone over here and I've placed a clamp on the corner of where I want the top of my tube to go. I've notched it out and made a nice place for it to sit. Now I've moved down to this corner. I'll show you the method I use for notching this tube. So I have marked in here the center line of my tube. So here I've got my, my position, and what I want to do is I want to mark by eye roughly the line of the face of this tube. So that's where I want my join to start level with this tube, the lower tube. And now what I want to do is I want to find roughly between there and there, I want to roughly draw a line through the center of that to get my sort of parallel line. And I want to make my notch roughly about 1/3 of the diameter of the tube. So I'll cut across this way like that, and cut across there like that. And that is going to be where I want to cut that out to get my perfect notch. If you want to see more on this, have a look at the Fabricators series on YouTube. It is fantastic. And this is the method I used on the 911, and it worked great. All right, so now I end up with a very rough notch tube like so. And the next thing is to go through with the flat disc on the grinder and just carve it out and tidy it up so that I actually get a nice clean fit. I actually have already done it on this other side, so you can sort of see this nice sort of curved angle that I made here. And so now I'll just go through and do that on this end, and we should have, hopefully, a nice fitting diagonal bar. All right, so my notches are fitting just nicely now. A bit of trimming backwards and forwards, trying to make them sit just where I want them. And now it's looking just right. So it's time to give them a good clean up with a bit of Scotch-Brite, and then I can tack the bar into place, sit it back in the car, make sure it all fits in the right spot, and move on. So I kind of stopped for a minute because I've sort of, I'm starting to contemplate where I actually sit as far as this goes. The issue I have is at a suitable seat placement for me, as I'm not a tall guy, only just clears the cage to give a normal position for the seat. Just wanted to make sure if I'm going to build it, I want to give it enough room so that anyone can drive it, not just me. The other issue I'm having is that the slope of the cage is pushing the limits. By the rule book, it can only be a slope of about 10 degrees from horizontal. Now, the car is sitting quite high in the front at the moment because there's no engine in it, but yeah, trying to get this cage so it leans back far enough to give room for the seat, but also I think every person who builds a cage for an S30 must have the same issue, because there's just nowhere to put the cage. By the time you actually put the main hoop in, you're really restricted by these wheel arches that there's just not much room to go. I was contemplating building up, changing these boxes completely and shortening the cage up and mounting the boxes a little bit further. But to be honest, for all that extra work, I'm going to get myself a finger width of extra room on the seat. Like, it's really not that much extra. At this stage, I'm going to work on it the way I've designed it and go from there. I've run out of time. So I'm going to think about it. Anybody who's got any suggestions or anything they can see that's an absolute disaster, let me know. But at this stage, this is, I'm swaying towards running with it the way I've got it. In any way, it is, it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hi guys, so now we have come to the current day. The 6th generation Z, the Z34, was introduced as a 2009 model. Almost every part of the car was redesigned from the previous model. The Z34's wheelbase is 100mm shorter and 33mm wider. The 3.7 litre engine produced around 330 horsepower, which was up from the previous model's 306, and the Nismo got 350. There has been rumours of a possible replacement for this model, which is entering its 9th year of production, but so far nothing has yet been announced. In an era of SUVs being a license to print money, sports cars don't sell that well. So could this be the final Z to come out of Japan?
Alright guys, that's it for another week. A lot of time this week was spent sort of sitting and thinking and trying to work out how to put things in the way. There's a lot of sort of time spent posing as the thinker. But as always, if you want to help the channel out, head down to the description. You can head to our store and get some shirts or hoodies or coffee mugs. You can also follow us at other places, Instagram and Facebook, also Home Built by Jeff. Alright guys, till next time.